Ladies and gentlemen, happy Oblivion Remaster launch date. Well, that was actually yesterday, but I still really wanted to talk about this momentous occasion, day, whatever you wanted to call it, because it is a very special thing that I need to talk about in today's video. So this is also kind of a little bit of a sequel video towards a rant video I did 10 months ago. 10 months ago I did a rant video after Todd Howard did a interview with MrMaximum, where he talks about the future of Fallout and Elder Scrolls, just Bethesda stuff really in general. And back then Todd said in that interview that they weren't interested in basically making remakes and remasters of their games. And when I say remasters, remakes, I absolutely mean from the ground up remakes, just like this Oblivion Remaster is. And I was really talking about the fact that Elder Scrolls games were taking so goddamn long, and I was very angry at that in that video, also with the answers that he provided there, that Bethesda wasn't interested in making remasters and remakes. So the thing is, Todd Howard basically lied to us yet again.
These NPCs are not scripted. You can walk all the way to the top of that mountain.
His sweet little lies. Because this remaster, this Oblivion remake, was in development in fact for a very long time, and has been in development at the time when he was doing that interview. He has been lying, you have been lying yet again, Todd. But this time I am just very happy that he lied. Because I was so sure that he was telling the truth about not really filling up the big gap releases in between these big games, from Skyrim to Elder Scrolls 6 or Fallout 4 towards the next Fallout 5. And I was afraid that this would be happening and that Elder Scrolls 6 would be the next game after Starfield, and still waiting for Elder Scrolls 6 after already 13 plus years from Skyrim's release, you know, Todd. The surprise release for Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion is a very big deal. Very big. Not only did they shadow drop a whole remake of an Elder Scrolls game, this remake is basically the best version for Oblivion so far that you can play. If you want to experience Oblivion for the very first time, I will be doing that with this remaster. By the way, in this video I also kind of want to talk about my experience so far with this remaster as well. I will tell you about that. I've played 6 to 8 hours of this remaster so far, and I will give some of my opinions on the remaster that I've played so far, if I like it, stuff like that. So guys, what have we all learned today here? Game companies and game directors always lie, also in interviews. Keep that in mind. Now the question is, are they going to do a remaster, remake for Morrowind? Because I do think that that game actually needs it more than Oblivion. I hope so, that would be very cool, of course. And maybe looking towards Fallout 1 and 2, how old they are. Maybe remastering, remaking those in the future. And I do think Bethesda is going to be very happy with the success here of Oblivion Remastered. By the way, in the very first day now that Oblivion Remaster has released, there are over 100,000 players already playing this game in the very first day that it's out. That is crazy. It's not even the weekend yet. It's not even Friday, Saturday or Sunday, because around those times a lot of people are at home, of course, from their job, and then they might play even more games, and then that number will skyrocket to a much higher number. But those are very good numbers already for that Oblivion remake, basically. So the shadow drop seems to have been a very good strategy. So they might actually do that more in the future. And you know, Todd has been saying that in interviews that he wanted to release a game as close towards the announcement as possible if he could, maybe on the same day or the same week. And now he has basically done that. And it has been a pretty good strategy, I won't lie. I quickly also want to give my opinion on the remaster that I've played so far. I think I've played around 6 to 8 hours. Not a lot, but I've played not enough yet to have a concrete, full opinion on the game. But I did play, I think, enough to see most of the systems there and see how the game is basically from a ground surface level. I've been playing the game on PlayStation 5. And the game, by the way, is only €50, $50. I think in America it's also only $50. By the way, that is an amazing price. I was expecting this to be a €70, $70 kind of game. Because it is a modern Unreal Engine 5 remake, I was expecting this to be much more expensive. And by the way, with all the DLC as well, Shivering Isles is also in this package. And I do think that might impact the sales even more, that more people will be buying this on launch day. And so far that I've been playing it, I really like it. This is Oblivion. You are getting 100% Oblivion. To be fair, it's in the title, it's Oblivion Remastered, but because it's a remake, basically you can maybe expect more changes, but it is almost one-to-one Oblivion with just better graphics, better character models. I really love the character models, what they did for this game. They were very faithful to the original here, and they also used some of the older voice acting, but also interweaving that with new voice acting as well, because the problem with the original Oblivion, there are a lot of voices that sound the same because of a lack of voice actors that they don't have. Now they have a lot more voice actors for every NPC in the game. So every NPC sounds so far that I've played distinct and different. Also for the different races as well, so that is pretty cool. Character models for the Khajiit and the Argonians are really just like Oblivion, but then better and higher resolution. I was really thinking that they would go more with a Skyrim style kind of Khajiit and Argonian, but they really stayed with that Oblivion character model design, but then in a Unreal Engine 5 look. They basically also upgraded the combat. It feels more impactful. Keep in mind though, it is still Oblivion. The spell casting is not like Skyrim, that you can do dual magic, stuff like that. You have to use your spells with the shoulder buttons if you play on a controller. So it is really like Oblivion in that regard. You also can't aim down sights with your bow. That is something I have to get used to, because I'm so used to Skyrim that I can aim, stuff like that. But the bow does feel better to shoot, stuff like that. They have better impact feeling, that type of stuff. They did something with the combat if you have a one-on-one fight with an enemy, that there is a difference between height and where you slash and that type of stuff. There is something there under the hood that I don't really understand for the combat, but it does feel better than really Oblivion was. There's more impact feeling, blood spatter, sparks, particle effects, that type of stuff, that it feels more modern. And it might actually also feel better than Skyrim as well, so that is pretty awesome. I was really hoping for this to be in line with Skyrim, and it is in fact in line with Skyrim. The skill leveling system is still the same, just like the original Oblivion. You go to sleep to level up, and you can choose individual perks that you want to upgrade, put points towards too. The mini games are still there. I'm playing Oblivion for the very first time, as in a full playthrough. I've already played the original, but not in a full playthrough, shall I say. I've never been really a big fan of the mini games with the lock picking and the persuasion mini game. But that's still in the game, though, the persuasion minigame and the lockpicking minigame, just as you know them. I find them a little bit convoluted. I'm not going to lie. I like the lockpicking system more in Skyrim. The lockpicking is not that bad in Oblivion, but it's kind of sometimes weird when it is at the right angle, that, like, you know, the steel pipe things in the lock, when it's at the right time, shall I say. I still quite don't fully grasp that system. Like, it is a little bit convoluted, I'm not going to lie. I do really like the storytelling so far. That is pretty nice in this game. I will say, from a exploration standpoint, I was exploring the open world, and it's definitely not as big as Skyrim's open world. But also, when I am in a dungeon, there isn't like an XP kind of thing if you discover something, which is in Skyrim. When you are in a dungeon, basically in Skyrim, there is also a little bit of mini storytelling there. There's like a dead body with maybe a note, and there's a mini story in that dungeon. And I haven't really encountered that yet in this Oblivion Remaster. Maybe that's still going to happen, but so far I haven't seen that yet. So I think the dungeons are okay in this game, but I do think they are going to be better, in my opinion, in Skyrim still. So from a dungeon perspective, shall I say. I did do one side quest with this like little town, and there are invisible people and you need to help them. That was a pretty nice side quest as well. There is one negative that I do want to talk about with this remaster, and this is really all my opinion. Don't take this too seriously. Look towards other YouTubers, what they are saying, towards their opinion and reviews on the game. I do have a problem with the art direction in this game, especially now that Sky Oblivion is a thing. You guys really need to take a look at the gameplay for Sky Oblivion, and I really noticed this when I was outside of the sewer when you start the game and you see the plain field next towards the Imperial City, and it does look nice graphically, pure textures and the lighting, stuff like that. Of course, it's Unreal Engine 5, but the art direction, like, there aren't a lot of trees, it's not really green. That is a little bit unfortunate with this remaster so far that I've played. I really noticed it, the lack of a good art direction, when I was in the second town. I don't remember which town it is. It's the town with Joffrey is his name, I believe, in the main storyline. There's a little town with a statue in the middle, and there's this big tree, and there's the Fighters Guild and the Mage Guild, basically. You really need to compare this for yourself. Maybe I can do it in this video and take a screenshot from the Sky Oblivion team, what they are doing, and this remaster. And I have to say, Sky Oblivion really looks better to me, at least, especially from a art direction. It's much more greener and there's more color and stuff like that, and it looks denser in its environment, and I do miss that in this remaster. It's a bit plain sometimes. I do think Sky Oblivion will have a leg up towards the remaster when it comes towards art direction, and also maybe unique stuff towards the dungeons, because as you guys maybe know, Sky Oblivion is actually upgrading all the dungeons to bring it more in line with Skyrim, that every dungeon is going to be unique. And I don't know if that's the case yet with the remaster. I haven't played enough yet. That's really my only complaint so far with the remaster that I've been playing. But I like the voice acting here, the character models, the combat is upgraded. I also like the stuff what they've done with the UI, making it a bit more streamlined, stuff like that. I'm still going to play this further because I'm very interested to see how this is going to hold up against Sky Oblivion. But yeah, I do really like this Oblivion Remaster that I've played. And I do hope, though, for the future that Bethesda is interested in remaking their older games. We also have a rumor of Fallout 3 Remaster, which was also, of course, on the FTC documents. I already talked about that in a previous video as well. And that's probably still going to happen. Also, Nate the Hate commented on that, saying that the Fallout 3 Remaster is a little bit away still yet, maybe coming out in 1 to 2 years. So it's not anywhere close yet. Of course, keep in mind this remaster was made by Virtuos. I do think Bethesda helped in some ways with maybe like art direction and lore, stuff like that. But this game has been fully developed by Virtuos, and in my opinion, they have done an amazing job on this remaster. This is a very cool remaster studio. They're also doing the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake that also looks amazing and faithful. I hope that Virtuos can maybe work on the Morrowind remake remaster. Now, there is a lot of questions up in the air still about modding capabilities, because of course this runs on Unreal Engine 5. It is a dual engine approach, so there is the original engine, the Gamebryo engine for the physics and AI running in that remaster, but all the rest is being done by Unreal Engine 5, and they're still kind of up in the air if there can be mods for this game. Apparently there are already like 100 mods so far are already out for this remaster in one day. That is absolutely crazy. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys have already played this remaster yourself. I am really interested to see what you guys are thinking of this remaster so far. If you are playing it yourself, let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, like this video if you like it, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more gaming news, leaks, rumors, towards discussions, towards single player video games mostly. I also do essay videos, big gaming essay videos as well, with green screening, stuff like that. So if you want to see more Todd Howards, subscribe, I suppose. And I will see you guys in the next video. I love you all. I will see you guys soon again. Bye bye.